Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I guess like while we're on the topic, one of the things that happened this week that I really wanted to talk about was well, I guess it happened like a little bit last week, was Twitter decided to permanently ban Trump.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is interesting. And I don't know how you feel about it, but my perspective is like this. You know, I think one of the best things that being an American provides us with is, and this podcast is a great example of it, is free speech, right? I can come on here and talk crazy, and you can talk crazy, and we won't necessarily get in trouble for it.
Right.
And you're able to just say whatever you want, and, you know, within the realms of, I mean, there's obviously like a few things that you could say that are crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, like, so free speech is like pretty valuable to me. I really feel like, you know, whether or not I'm going to agree or disagree with what you're saying, I want to hear what you're saying.
Right.
You know,
see where I'm coming from, try to understand why I'm saying the shit I'm saying.
Yeah. And as like a citizen, I would rather be able to filter out filter out what I want to hear myself. Right. Like if I don't like what someone has to say, I'm just going to, you know, unfollow them, block them, whatever I want to do.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got hella people blocked on Twitter and shit.
Speaking of that, like this whole situation has exposed a lot of, I can't even call them friends anymore, but people I knew like back in high school. Like it's been crazy.
Really? Like this whole pandemic situation?
The pandemic, like, you know, I'm not huge on politics, but I know what I presume right from wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and like people expose themselves.
Yes, exactly. And I'm just like, yep, unfollow you. Yep. And then they're like, why'd you unfollow me? I don't leave them on scene. I don't even respond.
Yeah. You know, that the same thing happened to me too.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, and especially looking at, I don't know did you read the reasons why they decided to ban him?
No.
Okay. So
I was just like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
The only reason I just wanted to know, like, I assumed because I don't follow him, like I don't keep up to date with him like that.
Yeah.
But I know that he tweets crazy, so I assume that he said something crazy. You know,
he always seems so crazy.
Yeah, he's saying crazy shit. So, and it was after the riots too. So if there was just a time that it caught my attention, it was this one. So basically, he had two tweets. I think the first one was something like, I don't like what I'm seeing or whatever. Basically saying that the riots shouldn't have happened and he wasn't condoning them. And then the second tweet was about like, us Republicans will not be disrespected and they will pay for what they've done. Whatever, right? Which, like,
that's a low-key threat.
My thing is like, bro, read the room. Like, you can tweet that any other day, but the day after the riot, that was the wrong time to tweet something like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
read the room.
But anyway,
exactly
like, even despite that, like, even his lack of awareness with that comment or that tweet, I guess, it still seems like an overreaction to me to ban him because, like, they're banning him for an interpretation of what he said, right? Like, what he said in actuality wasn't a threat, or it wasn't inciting violence, or it wasn't a call to arms.
Right.
So they decided to ban him for their interpretation of it.
Right.
You know?
But at the same time, you got to realize, like, he says a lot of subliminal shit all the time. Mm-hmm. And then he has a shit ton of followers. Like,
I think it's like 40 million or something like that when I saw it.
Like, they're ready to go at the drop of a dime for him. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like the shit he says, he has such a strong following that anything he says, I feel like some people are crazy enough to misinterpret it and then go crazy. Like that stand back and stand down or stand ready, shit he said.
Yeah, what he said about the BLM stuff.
Yeah, like what? Like,
or the whatever.
And that was a subliminal message too. Like, and then my thing is like people that were supporting him or the people that was at the Capitol that were supporting him, they were being un-American, right? Waving around a Confederate flag. I'm just like, this is your following? So is this what they interpret that you stand for? Right. So I hear all that, but it once again just boils down to like their interpretation of what he's saying. Right, but the shit he said, I feel like made them do that. He has such a hold on them that he can say something that's might not seem crazy, but they might say, okay, he really mean this, so let's go do that. Like, I don't think the riots would have ever happened if he wouldn't have been talking some crazy shit. Right. I mean, he essentially like he organized the protest. Right. Yeah. It turned into a riot indirectly. He didn't organize the riot, but he organized all those people. Exactly. Yeah. I hear that. So, but then like that's a slippery slope because then if we're gonna hold this one person accountable for, I see what you're saying.
Like, if you're holding him accountable for the way people are interpreting what he's saying, then to me, you have to do that to everybody, right? And I don't personally think I should be held accountable for example, what you think I'm saying.
Right.
I want to be held accountable for actually what I'm saying.
Right.
And so, because I feel like that about myself, I have to carry that to the way I think about this guy.
Right.
And anyone in general. So that's my thing. Like, you know, like, do I necessarily want the guy on Twitter? No. Like, I don't, you know, he's too old, first of all.
Yeah, I feel like it's like you said, it's a slippery slope because, like, this whole 4 years, I just feel like he's been creating division just by, like, the little shit he's been saying and the shit he's been doing. His actions speak louder than words. And, like, how you got half the country or more than half the country now rocking with you, and you got a whole bunch, like, the other half of the country rocking with you. Like, come on, man. It's something you're doing or saying.
Yeah, it's just a weird time. Like, obviously I've only lived through 3 presidents so far.
Right.
But, like, I've never thought of a time where, like, the opposite of who you voted for or whatever, you, like, hated the other side. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily true for the general populace.
When the mugs at the riot, they hate the other side.
Yeah, but there's, like, a lot of people on both sides that just, like, hate the other group of people. And that's just a weird thing because I know politics are important and politics can kind of determine your ethics and what you stand for. But, like, you know, me and you are friends, but I guarantee we don't agree on 100% of everything.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just a weird thing that, like, you would hate someone because they don't agree with you on one political spectrum.
Right.
You know?
And, like, I know people that who voted for Trump, but, you know what I mean, vote for who you want for. But at the same time, like, it's I mean, both presidents, I mean, they suck. And, you know, you go back to both of their histories, they both done some shitty shit to everybody in the world. Yeah. And to me, it's like picking the lesser of 2 evils. And so, I mean, like, Biden, he did some shitty shit to people back in the day. And they're like, well, you know what he did back in the day, why you vote for him now? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's a lesser of 2 evils. That's always a funny
sentiment to me because I think, so
it's like, what have you done for me lately, too? And we've seen what Trump has done for us lately, too.
Yeah. I think I would say that's what most people's decision came down to. Yeah. It's like people's moves lately. Yeah. But, like, it's always a funny sentiment when people bring up pasts of, I mean, politics is like the number one time it happens.
Oh yeah, all the time. Every 4 years they got to bring up the past. Yeah, for sure.
And it's just funny because, like, man, like, are you saying that because you're perfect? Right. Like, I'm not trying to say that there's any excuse for any actions anyone's ever taken, but, like, come on, man, I've made some crazy mistakes in my life. I know you have. I know everyone has. Right. So it's like I'm all for talking about people's mistakes and whatnot. But, like, to use that against them, just like, hey, you made this, in Biden's case or whatever, like, this motherfucker's old, so you made this mistake 50 years ago, I'm still going to hold you to it. It's like, come on, man. Like, you know. Yeah. But, I mean, that's kind of, like, off topic. I don't know. It's just a dangerous thing to me to start determining who's allowed to speak and who's not. Right. You know? Yeah. Because at this time, like, I'm cool generally with Trump being off Twitter because I don't think he's just too old for this shit. Like, get off. But, like, I agree with this one situation. Now, what if they ban LeBron James because he tweets something crazy? Now I'm gonna be up in arms about that because that's something I actually care about and invested in. Yeah, here's where I stand on that. When you are the leader of basically the world, whoever the president of the United States is basically the leader of the world, damn near. Leader of the free world or whatever. Leader of the free world. Yeah. You can't do certain shit. You can't say certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't put me or you on the same level as Trump. Yeah, it's true. You can't put us on the same level as LeBron. Like, has LeBron said some shit before? Yeah. Yeah. But has he said some crazy shit that Trump has said? I feel like when you're in that position of power, you have a responsibility to not do or say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Period. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, that's it, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that because, like, you know, I don't want to be held to the same standard as the president, you know? You can't. You shouldn't, and you will never, ever be. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not. So, I guess I didn't think about it that way. Like, this man is the president, so he's held to a different standard. Yeah. But I guess... You got a whole country behind you. Yeah. I guess it's just weird for me now. I would agree with that sentiment had it been, like, 4 years ago when they banned him. Mm. But, like, he's a week away from office, so... Like, I don't know, just like, why now? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't get, like, why they decided to do it now. You know what? I mean, I feel like,
because if he still was on Twitter and, they, passed the power over to Biden, he'd probably be like going crazy on Twitter, like, he ain't the real
Joe
president.
Made another mistake.
Fuck him. I would have never done this if I was the president. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can understand why. Because like I feel like it's about to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
About to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been crazy, so it's about to continue, I should say.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I just think this might be the start of something that I'm not trying to see, which is like all of a sudden now we're just getting rid of people and taking away their free speech. But then at the same time, it's like
some people abuse their free speech.
Right. There's people that abuse free speech.
That's like if somebody abused their freedom. What happens if you abuse your freedom?
Right.
You're done.
You pay the consequence.
You're done.
But like, I don't know if there's a way to exploit free speech genuinely. Like, I know there's things that my morals and ethics won't allow me to say, or I mean, I can say it, but like I choose not to because of my morals and ethics. But at the end of the day, like if I came on here and started saying them, I don't personally believe that like I got to turn off the podcast forever. Right. You know what I man?
Yeah. But like I said,
I just feel like there shouldn't be rules with free speech.
It's people that say crazy shit all the time on Twitter all the time. Crazier shit than the president.
Oh yeah.
Or the former president. Like all the time.
Yeah.
But guess what? They Joe Blow from down the street. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the president, bro. Yeah. That's the highest of the high, bro.
Yeah.
If you can't be saying crazy shit, bro. I just feel like.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I haven't really thought about that perspective of it. Like he is a president, we hold him to a different standard.
Maybe if I don't know, if it was like a regular celebrity, and he tweeting crazy shit, they'd be like, all right, whatever. Kanye tweet crazy shit all the time.
He doesn't get kicked off.
He ain't getting blocked or kicked off.
Right.
So that right there is like the comparison.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. And then like on the flip side, I don't necessarily want to support this, but at the end of the day, Twitter, Instagram, social media is not America.
Yes.
Right. So like America believes in free speech, but that doesn't necessarily mean that these companies have to.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Which, I feel like that's a great point. Yeah. That is a great point. Like
I feel like they should.
You can't tell somebody what to do with their own company.
Right. It's their like unless it was America owns Twitter.
Yeah, then, exactly.
Of course.
That's kind of like comparing it to like not on the same level, but like marijuana being legal. But at my company, if you smoke and get caught, you're fired. Yeah. It's legal in the country, but it's not legal at my job. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because companies have different standards.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So I feel like that's kind of how it is.
Yeah. But like even with that being said, like I still think that these platforms should allow for free speech. Right. But yeah, at the same time, like I gotta respect it on that level. It's like, I own this podcast. We own this podcast, for example. So we're allowed to come on here and say like we don't talk about politics. Right. So because it's our show.
I feel like this is the most we've ever talked about politics.
Yeah, we normally don't even.
This is like the most in depth we got into.
Definitely we're on that borderline. Bro, of just having a political conversation.
This is a surface level shit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just my biggest thing is like whether or not I agree or disagree with their decision. Like I just think free speech is like a dangerous thing to play with. But like we've talked about, like there's definitely legitimate reasons as why they did. But yeah, I just don't want to see this be a trend or something that continues.
Them just start kicking motherfuckers off.
Yeah. Because like even shit like if someone goes, I don't know if you can, to be honest with you, but like if you go on Twitter and start tweeting the N-word, I know you can say like the slang version. Right. I don't know if you can start tweeting it with the hard R or whatever. Right. But like even if you can, I don't think someone like that should be banned necessarily. Like it. Because it challenges my like personal beliefs and morals, right? But I don't think that. One thing we can't do is force our morals and ethics upon other people.
Right. So you're saying if somebody don't believe that, somebody just think that's just another word, they can do. They think in their head they can go ahead and say it,
and they can do that. Right. And leave it up to me to unfollow or block them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But obviously that video or whatever, that person will get found out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody else gonna kick them off. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna get kicked off. They gonna get
kicked off for life for sure.
Yeah. But even that's like if someone tweets something outlandish and like crazy like that,
happens every day.
The people the people of Twitter or whatever will attack them, and I don't necessarily, I'm not condoning it, right? But like there's consequences for
every action,
right?
Good or bad.
And I also don't think that like, for example, if someone tweeted some racist shit and someone else tweeted like I'm gonna find you and kill you, on the same token, like I don't think that the person who tweeted that should get punished for saying that. Now, like, can the cops show up and, hey, like, motherfucker, like,
that's kind of like when people get caught on camera doing shit that's not right.
Yeah.
They get found out.
Yeah. And I guess, okay, so if you're going to tweet a threat, like a violent threat, you probably should get in trouble for it. I guess what I'm saying is, like, they shouldn't get banned for it. Because that's, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at it from, like, I have to keep the same energy.
Right, yeah, I feel you.
If I'm not going to ban you for saying some racist shit, then I'm not going to ban the person for responding emotionally.
Right.
I don't know.
I think I tweet some borderline... No, I won't even say racist shit. I just point out the racism. Mm-hmm. That's what I'll be tweeting about. I point out racism. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not racist at all. You know what I'm saying?
But even that, like, let's talk, for example, you tweet, you condone or point out some racist shit that doesn't actually, or isn't actually racist.
Right.
I don't think you should be banned for spreading misinformation.
Right.
Which like, has happened in the past, like conspiracy theorists or whatever. So that's just, like, another example of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, like,
I don't know.
In my eyes, racism is bad.
Right.
And I feel like if you're being racist towards somebody, you should pay the consequences. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, even though some people might believe racism is okay and fine, which people are like that still to this day, they should get some type of, you know what I'm saying, repercussions.
Right. So let's, like, walk through an example. Someone's tweeting crazy racist shit all the time. Yeah. Do you think that they should be banned off whatever platform it is?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's my personal view.
Yeah.
I want to weed out the bad shit.
Right. So
even if it's something as little as taking one person off,
right,
which that one person has, I feel like, but it's a start.
I guess, though, to just play devil's advocate with you,
right?
Because in actuality, like, I don't agree,
right?
Like, obviously, I agree with, I don't fuck with racism.
I'm about to say, we didn't turn this whole show.
Nah, bro. Actually, yo, black people. I'm just playing. But like, so I agree. I don't tolerate racism, whatever. But I don't think that people should be banned for that. And my devil's
just because of the freedom of speech.
Well, so it's like this. We don't agree with racism, but on that same token, like you just pointed out, that isn't a universal moral code.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the same way that just because I'm a Christian, like I'm okay with, I'm trying to think of an example. Like we used to pray in school. Right. I don't know. Did you do that in public school?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like growing up early on, because they took it out very early, like we prayed in school.
Yeah.
And I was, now that I'm old, obviously when I was a kid, I didn't fucking know, but like now that I've gotten older, I'm okay with them taking prayer out because not everyone's a Christian. So it doesn't really make sense to like do a Christian prayer.
Right.
So, because there's Muslims, whatever. Yeah. So that's kind of the way I see it in regards to that. Yeah. It's like, just because I believe that racism's bad doesn't mean that anyone who tweets racist things should just immediately be deleted off the surface.
Right. But I feel like we've had so many examples of racism being bad. I mean, yeah, we have, but like I guess certain people don't see what has happened. They don't consider that bad. Right. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because certain people might see what happened way back in the day or to this day, not racially bad. And me, in my opinion, that's fucked up. How you don't see what's wrong is wrong, what's right is right.
I don't know if I could ever actually do this. I would love to sit down with someone who's like genuinely racist
and just
don't see. Yeah, I just want to know, like,
you do it and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, because you wouldn't sit there.
I wouldn't sit here. I might be on his head real quick.
Yeah, but like, because here's what I would imagine.
Pick your brain. See why they think the way they think.
Here's how I imagine that they look at things.
Honestly, bro, you should do that shit, bro.
It'd be crazy.
You should really do that.
It'd be crazy. Infiltrate the KKK.
Yeah, bro, do something. Put them to the side, put them to the side or something. Do that shit.
But because like
insight.
I think a racist person, this is just an assumption, if they're like smart enough, right? Like obviously, like they have to have a certain level of intelligence, but I think they would all say that that slavery was bad and all the things that came with that. But I think what a racist thinks is like, I'm not racist. I just have like stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the biggest one is definitely like, if you see a black person with a hood on, they're going to try to rob you or whatever the fuck. Yeah. That's like probably the oldest one.
Right.
And I think that a true like person who thinks that way, I don't think that they recognize that behavior as racist.
Because it's rooted in them.
It's conditioned. Exactly.
It's conditioned in them. Yes.
Exactly. They saw in a movie or maybe it actually happened to them.
At home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit, you don't, like I said, you're not born racism.
Right.
Racist, I'm sorry. Damn.
Right.
You're not born racist.
Right.
That shit is conditioned, is rooted in you. You know what I'm saying? You grew up with that shit. You grew up saying black is bad. You know what I'm saying? White is right.
Well, see, but even that's like, I really don't think a parent has ever said that to a kid.
Yeah, but you ain't even got to say it. It's your actions. It's your mannerisms.
Yeah.
You know
that's what I mean. Like it's a behavior. But I think people who think and behave that way, they don't know. They don't know that
they're doing it. Yeah. You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's how they think. I would just hope. Like I'm almost giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
That they don't just wake up like, white people, we lead the earth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they think like that.
Because they don't know. They're not.
Yeah. They don't realize like the way they behave is racist or whatever.
I can see a lot of people being like that. I can see a lot of people knowing what the fuck they're doing is racist and still like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I can see it both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be really interesting to know.
Hell yeah.
But I also don't know if someone would ever just like out themselves like that.
You don't have to like
mask them up.
Yeah, mask them up or dim this shit up. Like, all right, let's talk.
Like, you remember the show To Catch a Predator? To Catch a Racist. Start showing up at people's houses with like KKK signs on. I was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
these
one of y'all.
People.
Right.
Oh man, that'd be so funny shit.
That shit would be a hit, bro.
That's funny.